Jimmy Hoffa, born on February 14, 1913 in Brazil, Indiana, was a charismatic labor union leader who rose to national prominence as the president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, IBT, one of the most powerful unions in the United States. Hoffa began his career as a labor organizer in Detroit, advocating for better wages, working conditions, and job security for truck drivers. His relentless dedication to his fellow workers made him a beloved figure among union members. By 1957, he became the president of the Teamsters, transforming it into one of the largest and most influential unions in the country, with over 2 million members at its peak. However, Hoffa's influence came with controversy. His aggressive tactics and connections with organized crime made him a target for law enforcement. In 1967, he was convicted of jury tampering, attempted bribery, and fraud, resulting in a 13-year prison sentence. Despite being behind bars, Hoffa never gave up on his ambitions. In 1971, President Richard Nixon commuted his sentence on the condition that he would stay out of union activities. Hoffa, however, had no intention of fading into obscurity and began planning his return to power, which may have sealed his fate. On July 30, 1905, Hoffa mysteriously disappeared from the parking lot of the Machus Red Fox restaurant in suburban Detroit, where he was scheduled to meet 2 mafia leaders. His sudden disappearance sparked countless theories and investigations, yet no trace of him was ever found. Hoffa was declared legally dead in 1982, but his vanishing remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries, capturing public fascination for decades. The enduring legacy of Jimmy Hoffa is a tale of power, ambition, and the dark intersections between labor and organized crime.
Jimmy Hoffa, a powerful labor union leader, vanished on July 30, 1975, creating a captivating true crime mystery. He was last seen outside the Machus Red Fox restaurant in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, reportedly meeting mob figures Anthony Tony Jack Giacalone and Anthony Tony Pro Provenzano to settle disputes. Both men denied scheduling the meeting. Witnesses described Hoffa as agitated in the parking lot before he entered a car, and he was never seen again. Hoffa's deep ties to organized crime played a crucial role in his disappearance. His rivalry with Tony Pro intensified as he sought a political comeback that threatened the mob's control over the union's pension fund. This tension raised suspicions about the mob's involvement in his sudden vanishing. Years later, a car belonging to mob associate Charles O'Brien tested positive for traces of Hoffa's DNA, but the evidence was inconclusive. Various theories emerged, suggesting Hoffa's body could have been incinerated, buried under Giant Stadium, or dissolved in chemicals. Despite numerous suspects, no one was charged, leaving the case unresolved. Over time, several mobsters, including Frank Sheeran from The Irishman, claimed responsibility for Hoffa's death, but these confessions were often unverifiable. The FBI pursued over 200 leads without finding Hoffa's body, intensifying speculation. Hoffa's disappearance remains a haunting enigma filled with mob connections and unanswered questions. On July 30, 1975, James Riddle Hoffa, a powerful labor union leader, vanished without a trace. Known for his significant influence over the Teamsters, Hoffa had just been released from prison after serving time for jury tampering. He was last seen outside the Machus Red Fox restaurant in Bloomfield Township, Michigan, where he was reportedly meeting with 2 mobsters. Despite extensive investigations, no concrete evidence has ever surfaced to explain his disappearance. Hoffa's links to organized crime only deepened the mystery, leading to rampant speculation about his fate. Some say he was murdered by the mob to silence him, while others believe he may have gone into hiding. Over the decades, numerous theories have emerged, from being buried under a stadium to being killed and disposed of in a swamp. Hoffa's case has intrigued true crime enthusiasts and amateur sleuths alike, prompting countless books, documentaries, and films. As we explore this baffling case, we invite you to weigh in. What do you think happened to Jimmy Hoffa? Was he a victim of foul play, or did he orchestrate his own disappearance? Let's dive into this true crime enigma together.
How many truckers will be involved in these negotiations?
16,000 owners.
16,000 owners. How many drivers will this be?
450,000 people are covered by the contract, master agreement.
Now, the master agreement will Will this cover all of the lines which hire union drivers?
Covers not only the lines that hire union drivers, it almost sets the rate for truck drivers, whether they're in our union or other unions. Because once this book is published, the unions such as the industrial unions and other unions who have trucks immediately take the wage scales that we have and apply it to their contracts. So when we talk about 450,000 as the actual people covered, there's probably another 200,000 of other unions that be covered because of the language of our agreement.
In negotiating these contracts, you in effect will be enforcing to a great extent various safety measures through your own union then.
That is correct, because the drivers have a health and welfare program and a pension program. We want them to live long enough to enjoy the pension program at 57 years of age and $250 a month, and we want them to be able to be healthy enough that the health and welfare program for their family and themselves is not so expensive we can't afford it. So we have to have all these innovations on to make sure that the driver doesn't become involved in accidents which lays them up.
Have you ever walked into a restaurant and never left? That's what happened to me, one of the most powerful unionists in the United States. I'm Jimmy Hoffa. Theories say I was kidnapped by the mafia, that I went into hiding, that I'm buried under a soccer stadium. This is my story. I remember that day, July 30th, 1975. I had an important meeting at a restaurant in Detroit, the Machu's Red Fox. I was supposed to meet with two well-known mafia figures, but they never showed up. I was president of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters for years. I was respected, feared, and, by some, hated. I always knew that my power made me a target, but I never thought it would lead to my demise. Some say I may be buried under the giant stadium somewhere in New Jersey. Others think I was destroyed in a grease factory. The truth? Only those who made me disappear know. But I tell you this, don't believe everything you hear. The mafia? Yes, I had business with them. But did they really know what happened to me? Or were they just as lost as the rest of the world? My disappearance sparked one of the biggest manhunts in FBI history. Years of searching, millions of dollars spent, but no one ever found out what really happened to me. My story was told in the movie The Irishman. So the next time you walk into a restaurant, think of me. Jimmy Hoffa. The man who went in, but never came out. And never forget, things are not always what they seem.